Both teams will be introduced. We'll go ahead and get to the starting lineups for you for the blue-clad Indiana State Sycamores. Marie Hunter, a 5'7" junior guard out of Marion, Arkansas, will be in the backcourt. She'll be joined by Leandra Etchie, a 5'8" junior out of Beacon, New York. Deljanae Williams will 5'8" freshman guard out of Detroit, Michigan, highly recruited athlete that will be in the starting lineup, averaging just inside of 11 points a game. She leads the Sycamores in scoring, and with the lights dimming here in the arena, that will do it for me on the starting lineups until the lights come back on. As I am without my glasses tonight, and the starting lineup tonight, Rondawa, the sophomore out of Turlock, nearby Turlock, about 20 miles south of Stockton, and Valerie Higgins will join the starting five, back in the starting lineup after nursing a cold and upper respiratory bug recently, the 6'1" redshirt junior. And Higgins hails from Southern California, Granada Hills to be exact. She is a redshirt transfer from the University of Southern California. The Tigers are coached by Bradley Davis, assisted by Amy Starr, Lindsay Moore, and Amanda Brown. Amanda Leland, the director of basketball operations. Sarah Vargas, the head trainer. Infinity Robinson, one of the officiating crew. I think she's the chief tonight. And we'll get the other two for you. It is Sydney Mott was supposed to be there, but they've made some changes. I'll have to get those to you when I can. In the meantime, the Tigers wearing the home white. Indiana State gets the tip. They have the ball first, working in the low post. McDavid defends well, blocks the shot. Tigers come out of the pack. Higgins, after the terrific interior defense by McDavid. Long shot by Trickinson, fires on the right side angle, no good. Rebound underneath to Jamira McChristine. She was one of the two starters I missed. McChristine's a 6'1" junior forward out of Chicago, Simeon High School there. Up top, Jennifer Etchie goes into the left corner. And we got a dribble penetration and a ball goes off for the Tigers. I'm going to check. Indiana State has Summer Pitzer out there in the starting lineup. She's the fifth starter out of Columbus, Ohio. The freshman has the basketball, works at the free throw line against Triggetson. Now an outlet to a long three on the right side angle, no good. Triggetson with a rebound. That was Williams who fired it from the three ball that missed it badly. And the Tigers go on offensive. Played a minute to go, a minute into the first quarter. Nobody has scored yet. Rundell on the left wing is guarded there, down to McDavid, and a left baseline jumper is good. McDavid with a line drive fadeaway, moving further to the baseline side, as you see for those of you watching in. Beautiful camera work there as McDavid hits the tough 15-footer along the left baseline. And the Tigers have the first points of the ball game. Pitzer goes into the lane, ball deflects. Higgins comes out of the pack. Nice pass to Rundava. Her feed to McDavid, not a good one, so it goes out to Triggensen, who fires it in from 3. Sophie Triggensen, the Denmark native, and a sharpshooter from the perimeter, has the triple, and the Tigers lead it 5-0. Well, that 3-on-2 did not develop real smoothly, but Triggensen, the benefactor of a deflection from McDavid. I think Brooklyn will get the assist there. Now we have a whistle inside. Sophie's going to pick up the personal foul. First personal, first team foul on the Tigers with 8:04 remaining in the first quarter. Leandra Etche right in front of us will inbound it. They come in to Hattie Westerfeld. She's checked in. She's another freshman out of Batesville, Indiana. Sycamores from Terre Haute, Indiana, southwest part of the state. Of course, famously put on the map by the great NBA Hall of Famer Larry Bird. Shot no good. Tigers get yet another defensive board. Here's Rondala going hard to the rack, is knocked to the ground. Ball goes out of bounds. Tigers wanted a foul there. No call, but it's going to be Pacific basketball, I think, here. It is. Tigers bring it out in along the baseline. Up top to Triggensen. Man-to-man pressure by Indiana State. Now Sophie has some daylight. Fires it in from the three-point line off the left angle. Triggensen just needed that one quick split second. The Indiana defender, the Indiana State defender, was late to switch out there, and Triggensen fires it in. She's got 6 points, and the Tigers up 8-0 here. Williams on the right side angle, comes on top. Not a good pass to Etche, but she tracks it down. Goes into the low post to Westerfeld. Misses the shot as she arched her back to get an angle off that backboard and missed it too strong. Tigers get another defensive rebound. Here's Jessica Blakesley, the engineering major. Now to McDavid. She'll fire it in from the right elbow area, 15 feet away. McDavid's got 4. Triggensen has 6, and the Tigers lead it 10-0 in a timeout, Indiana State. Coach Vicki Hall wants to talk about it here with 6:36 left here in the first quarter. And we'll keep it here during the break as we settle some things down. And without my reading glasses once again, my apologies. I'll be stuttering and missing a couple of things and tripping over my own words occasionally, but hopefully I'll make it as smooth as possible for you here tonight. The Tigers against Indiana State. I mentioned the Tigers are coming into play tonight averaging 70 points a game. Pacific shooting about 32.5% from the field. 32.5% from the three-point line this year. Indiana State will shoot a lot of threes, and they're not shooting particularly well. Only 30%, we'll check that here. 30% on the year from beyond the arc. So they've been struggling shooting the ball from distance. That has not stopped them from launching some attempts here in the early going from beyond the arc. Well, they're officially 0 for 1. That was Williams who missed that right side angle three-pointer. Indiana State is shooting about 38.5% from the floor in general. The Tigers are at 43%. A lot of the Tigers' baskets again this year coming from inside the painted area, especially after creating a turnover on the defensive end. So the Tigers have a shutout going, 10-0. We've played 3.5 minutes. Tigers show some full court pressure in the back. They look like they were going to back off of it. Now they bring it back, but the Sycamores break the timeline and will set up the offense. Man-to-man pressure for the Tigers. Blakesley on that right wing is guarding Williams tightly. They swing it to the weak side to Pitzer. She brings the dribble against Rondala up top. No, a three-point shot misses from the right side angle there by Etche, and the Tigers get a rebound. Sophie Trigginson makes a dangerous pass to McDavid. Did it go off of Indiana State? I believe it did. Tigers catch a break there. It was not a good pass. It was a high-risk pass by Trigginson, but the Tigers fortunate it deflected off of one of the Sycamores out of bounds, so it'll be Tiger basketball. Trigginson will bring it in from the baseline. They come way on top to Rundala. She'll have a jab step there against Petzer. Now finds the lane, goes to the rack, misses a shot off the window. Tough roll for Kaylin in Indiana State with the rebound. Up come the blue and white clad Indiana State Sycamores. Cece Mayo is checked in for Coach Hall. Mayo, a 5'11 guard. She's a junior college transfer out of Latham, New York. Now a turnover inside by Indiana State. SMU Mustangs, who were victorious in that first ball game before this one, hanging around to watch this and get an idea of their opponents for tomorrow. Should the Tigers win, they'll take on the SMU Mustangs. We'll double check that time. I believe it's 3 o'clock tomorrow. We'll double check it for you. Rundala going to charge to the lane and knock over one of the Sycamores. It's an offensive foul on the Tigers sophomore, Kaylin Rundala. First personal. Tigers have 2 team fouls. Indiana State has yet to be whistled for a foul at this point. Petzer starts the offense, goes right wing feed to Jasmine Elder, who's checked in. Now they throw it away along the baseline. Mayo couldn't handle the pass. I'm not sure if it was a bad pass or she mishandled that. In any case, it is a turnover. On Indiana State. The Tigers draw a foul now on Indiana State. It's going to be whistled on Etchie, her first personal, first team foul. Tigers will have it across the far sideline here. Higgins, who's out there with McDavid, Rundala, Trigginson, and Blakesley still. Starting 5. Blakesley gets bowled over as one of the Sycamores. It was Cece Mayo fighting through the screen. A little too aggressive out there on the perimeter, and Jessica pops up. She's okay, but the foul on Mayo, her first personal, now the second team foul, with 5 minutes exactly to go here in the opening quarter. Nice to have you with us. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone listening in or watching along the Pacific Tigers digital network and the W.TV. Good offensive putback, but Tigers get fouled on the attempt. It's going to be a couple of free throws for Pacific's Brooklyn McDavid as she got that offensive rebound and then got hammered on the putback. Liana Tillman checks in for the Tigers, the junior, 5'9" guard out of Lincoln High School right here in the city of Stockton. McDavid's first free throw is good. Tigers up 11-zip here. Both free throws good for McDavid. On the year, Brooklyn shooting 75% from the charity stripe. Tigers throw some full court pressure in the backcourt. However, Petzer broke the pressure, and then from behind, the Tigers get a steal after all. They poked it away. Petzer, a little bit too much one-on-one there. Sycamores turn it over. Tigers kick it out for a Blakesley 3 attempt. It's a little bit strong off the front iron. Higgins gets an offensive rebound. Put back, no good. Ball loose on the floor. And we're going to finally get a whistle. Going to be Tiger basketball as the Indiana State player down on the ground where the ball was halfway out of bounds along that baseline. I think that's what drew the whistle. So they give her possession as she had it. So the Tigers get a fresh shot clock with 4:26 remaining. And now Anthony Robinson wants to double check that shot clock, I think, as she stops play here. Yeah, they're going to change it down to 20 seconds. I guess they said they didn't have possession after all. She was on the ground with the ball for a couple of seconds before the Tigers got the whistle. In any case, Trigginson 1-on-2, gives it up to Blakesley. Left corner three for a Tillman. It's an air ball, too strong. Indiana State with a rebound. Coming out of the pack, 3-on-3. Left-hand hook shot, no good there by Etchie, but she draws the whistle and the foul call on Pacific. So Etchie will get to the line for her efforts for 2 free throws. Triggetson picks up her second personal foul. Sophie with the 4-minute, 2-second mark will come out of the game, and Issy Newman will check in for the Tigers. Newman, the 6-footer, the junior out of Simi Valley, by way of Chaminade Prep High School. Izzy averaging a little over 4 points a game this year for Pacific. Etchie at the line gets the first point on the board for Indiana State. She's at 60% from the free throw line this year. Makes both. So it's a 12-2 Tiger lead. 6 minutes have gone by here in the opening quarter. Higgins kick out for a Blakesley 3 attempt. Deep right corner. No good. A little bit strong. Gets her own rebound. Put back. Will not go, but Jessica was fouled in her attempt to put that offensive rebound back. Nobody blocked Jessica out as she launched from deep right corner. She followed her shot nicely there. The ball was a little strong. It came right back to her as she was charging at the rim. And on the putback, the ball was on the ground, so it's a non-shooting foul. Tigers inbound it. Blakesley gets another look on the right wing. That one rims out no good. Brooklyn McDavid comes flying in for an offensive board. They're going to get Brooklyn going over the back there. First personal on Brooklyn. Third team. Let's check that. 4th team foul on the Tigers now. So with 3:45 remaining, the Tigers are going to be in the penalty on their next foul. Both teams actually with 4 team fouls now. As Petzer brings the right-hand dribble up. Freshman guard out of Columbus, Ohio. Sycamores have the ball way up top with the right-hand dribble. Etchie works there against Newman. She's going to get a pick. Now she rolls. Goes to the basket off the dribble. No good. And Newman gets the defensive rebound and reach-in foul on Indiana State, I think. And that's going to put the Tigers. Well, let's see what they called. Well, I'm not sure what they called. They didn't call a personal foul. Otherwise, the Tigers would be shooting. It was a violation of some type on Indiana State. So Pacific with the ball, 3:10 to go. First quarter, dangerous pass by Newman trying to hit Higgins. And it's intercepted, knocked away by Indiana State. They come out of the pack with the ball. The Tigers turn it over. The Sycamores out of the Missouri Valley Conference are in a long 3 attempt in the right corner. No good by Petzer. Pitzer misses the shot. Tigers in transition. Newman to the rack with the right hand and scores. Going down the left side of the lane, Issy Newman with her first points of the game. Tigers back up by a dozen here. It's 14-2. Savannah Whitehead will check in at the next whistle for the Tigers. Ball comes into Williams. Delgenet hands it off to Westerfeld, who travels with the ball, trying to make a move there. She crossed over and went into the lane and attempted a shot, but shuffled her pivot foot in the traveling violation. Pearl Dean checks in for Indiana State, a 6'3" center. She's a sophomore out of Cincinnati, scoring about 5.5 points a game. Indiana State has good balanced scoring on the year. Williams leads them at just inside of 11 points, and Elder just inside of 10 points, and several players at 8 and 9. So Tillman to the rack, softly off the window with the right hand. The soft floater as she had great body control there under pressure. Tough shot for Tillman, but she gets it to go. Now the Tigers harassing the Sycamores near the midcourt line, but settling it down is Jennifer Etchie. She works against Newman. Now into the low post for a left-hand bank shot. No good there by Dean, who just checked in. Tigers secure another defensive board. Blakesley gets the ball down the baseline now to Whitehead. Kick out pass for Newman. Left corner 3 there. A little bit too strong, no good. Not sure if it even caught any iron. It may have barely skimmed off that far iron. Beautiful entry pass there by Williams. Down low to Adrian Folks, who laid it in. That's a beautiful entry pass up top. Now Newman bodies up with the shoulder, inadvertent shoulder. Leandra Etchie took it right on the chin. She's going to take a seat and take inventory of all of her teeth, I think, there. For the Sycamores, Jasmine Elder will check in, a 5'9" freshman guard out of Louisville, Kentucky. Butler High School. Human Resources Development major. So Elder in the game for Indiana State. Newman misses both free throws there. It's 16-4. Tigers up by 12 as they had Newman at the line due to the penalty that Indiana State was in. Whitehead's going to get the whistle and the foul call here as Jasmine Elder drove on the left side and got to the rack, and Whitehead met her there with an aggressive body check that drew the whistle. So it'll be a couple of free throws for Jasmine Elder. She's averaging 9.5 points a game. First free throw is good. 56% at the line this year coming in. That first one cleanly through, though. She leads Indiana State with the 49% field goal percentage coming into play and the 38% from the three-point line. Both free throws are good, so it's now a 16-6 ball game. Tiger lead down to 10. Indiana State has never led in this contest to this point. Savannah drives baseline and gets called for a travel before she got the pass out to the right corner there, so the Tigers turn it over. And we're inside of a minute to go. Here in the opening quarter, it's Pacific up 16-6. Wearing the home whites, trimmed in the orange and black are the Tigers, if you're listening in. Indiana State and the road blues, trimmed in the white. Left corner, check that right corner three by the left-handed shooter, no good, but the rebound inside the key by Jasmine Elder, and the putback is good. About 8 feet away, Elder's got the bucket. She's got 4 points. It's 16-8. Tigers down to single-digit lead as Savannah Whitehead. Beautiful reverse layup with a right hand as she drove baseline off the left block and then spun it up with that reverse layup, and nicely done against the Indiana State defender. So Whitehead with a beautiful move there gives the Tigers a double-digit lead again at 10 points. 18-8. Randhawa comes over to help out defensively. Perimeter jumper misses badly there by Elder. Newman of the Tigers has the rebound. 2 seconds and she'll hoist it up from midcourt and hit the back iron, no good. Great attempt by Izzy Newman of the Tigers, and the horn sounds, ending the end of the first quarter. From the Spanos Center, we're in Stockton, California, on the beautiful campus at the University of the Pacific. After one, it's Pacific 18, Indiana State 8, along the PacificTigers.com.
We, the student athletes, coaches, administrators, and fans of the West Coast Conference,
respectfully represent the values of all West Coast Conference institutions.
we elevate and celebrate performance
through sport rather than negative behavior.
Physical and verbal attacks, obscene gestures, taunting,
and displays of profane language are not tolerated.
We are committed to positive sportsmanship that represents our conference, our school,
our team, and ourselves.
At this moment, in Stockton, Sacramento, and San Francisco, a University of the Pacific student has made a decision to learn, live, and lead with purpose in mind. Here, it's all about moments that change lives, families, communities, economies, the world. At University of the Pacific, these moments give life purpose. They give us purpose too. After all, we share one future. Join us, University of the Pacific.
Tiger fans, stay tuned. After the ball game, we'll announce the City of Stockton hardworking player of the game. The Lincoln Center at the corner of Pacific and Benjamin Holt is your stop for fine dining. Anything from burgers and fries to fine dining at the Lincoln Center. Make sure you stop on by and check it out. Second quarter is 18-8. Tigers up by 10. Indiana State will come out with the possession first. Floater in the key, no good. Tillman gets the rebound. Tigers have Tillman out there with Blakesley, Newman, Whitehead, and Rondawa. Izzy Newman looks to go into Whitehead, working on the left block. Makes a nice move, changes hands, flip up a shot with the left hand, no good. And the Sycamores with the rebound. Out of the pack they come. Pitzner has it up top. Somebody lost a contact coming up the floor, and that draws the whistle and the stoppage of play here. Higgins, well, the Tigers are going to make some wholesale changes. McDavid comes back with Higgins. Callie Kaiser checks in for the first time for the Tigers tonight. Kaiser, a redshirt senior out of Colorado State, Broomfield, Colorado native. Tillman remains out there with Rondawa. Pearl Dean is the Sycamore who's still playing with her contact lens here, and everyone being patient while she figures. I think they're going to make her come out. She's still having trouble getting it into the eye, so they do have to force a substitution. Jamira McChristine will come in for her. McChristine out of Simeon High School in Chicago. 6.5 points a game for Coach Hall and the Sycamores. Deljanae Williams hands the ball off to Jasmine Elder. Now into the lane, floats up a 10-footer and scores. Nice move by Elder. She's got 6 points. It's an 18-10 Tiger lead by 8 here. The Tigers have led the whole way. 9:10 to go here in the second quarter. Tillman on the right wing. Works one-on-one out there against Elder. Now up top to Higgins. Has the ball knocked away temporarily. Tracks it down. Picks it up. Dribble. Kick out for Kaiser. Callie now gives it back to Higgins. Is going to fire a 3 from the left corner. No good. Off the iron. Just a tad short for Higgins. She doesn't fire too many up from the 3-point line, which she did that time, and the Tigers misfire. Tigers are not hit a 3. We'll check that. Tigers are 2 of 9 from downtown. Indiana State has yet to hit a 3-point shot in 5 attempts. Now, as I say that, they do get one. Deljanae Williams, the freshman, drains it. She's been shooting 27% from beyond the arc, but she got that one to go. So now it's a 5-point Tiger lead. McDavid turnaround, tough shot off the baseline and scored. Deljanae Williams had, checked that, it was Pearl Dean, did everything she could. Had her hands up, great defense, but McDavid with better offense there. And it's a 20-13 lead. Tigers back up by 7. Stutter step to the left elbow. Now cross-court pass intercepted by Tillman of the Tigers. 1-on-4. Now she's going to take it to the rack anyway. Draw some contact. The shot is blocked out of bounds. Leanna kind of looked like she was going to wait for her teammates to come join her, but then she accelerated again after slowing down a bit and then got to the rim where the shot was blocked out of bounds. Higgins down the right side of the lane, scores with a right hand flip. Valerie Higgins has her first points of the ball game. It's 22-13. Tigers back up by 9 here. Reach-in foul as a dribble penetration down the lane there by Adrian Folks. Drew the whistle. Let's see who it's on here. I'm not quite sure who the foul call was on, but we'll check it here. Adrian Folks misses the first free throw. She'll have a second one upcoming. That's her first free throw miss of the year. Southgate, Michigan native. One of 8 freshmen on the ball club. Nursing major. Gets the second free throw. So 1 out of 2 for Folks. It's a 22-14 ball game. Tigers up by 8. McDavid at the left elbow. Misfires. It hit the rim twice before rolling off. Higgins with a good feed there to Brooklyn, but Brooklyn misses, I think, her first shot of the ball game. She was 3 of 3 prior to that miss. She's now 3 of 4. Working up top is Caitlin Anderson with the left-hand dribble. Now they go down into the low post. Beautiful move inside. And crossing over is Jamira McChristine with a bucket. Good strong move there to the weak side, and she banked it in from short range. Tigers lead is 6, 22-16. Tigers have not looked real crisp here in the second quarter. Kaiser misfires from 3 in the left corner, but a loose ball rebound by Higgins, who puts it back up and in. Valerie Higgins at the right place at the right time there. Got the missed three-point shot that hit just short of the rim. Valerie right underneath the rim was there to corral it and then get her body in position to bank it in from short range. Higgins has 4. The Tigers back up by 8. Now a silly turnover out on the perimeter by Indiana State. Caitlin Anderson with a bad pass there. Turnover number 5 on Indiana State. Sycamore shot only 14.3% in that first quarter. Tigers, meanwhile, shot 44%. Inside, the Tigers misfire, and in transition, a 3-on-2. Beautifully executed, and a layup at the end of that by Adrian Folks. With a beautiful dribble penetration, drew the defense. That was Deljanae Williams who drew that defense and then dished it off nicely. Higgins to the rack. Flip shot with a right hand is good. This time off the left side of the lane. That's generally her favorite side of the key to penetrate. And that time she got all the way to the rim and laid it in. All of a sudden, Higgins coming alive for the Tigers. 6 points for the junior. Kelly Kaiser's going to pick up a personal out on the perimeter there. So trailing by 8, the Sycamores will inbound it directly across the way from us on the far sideline. Marie Hunter will trigger it in. She's out of Marion, Arkansas. She scores 6.5 points a game for the Sycamores. Petzner misfires a little bit long off that floater in the key. Tigers with a rebound. Rundawa in transition. Left wing 3. Bottom of the net. Caitlin Rundawa drains the 3. That gets the Tigers back up by double figures here. 29-18. And the faithful here in the Spano Center like that one in transition. Nicely executed. Now a tough pass. Entry pass is misfired, and Caitlin Rundawa has it off the turnover by Indiana State. Tigers look to build on the lead. Wide open, Higgins off the weak side, and Callie Kaiser spotted her, and an easy layup for Higgins, who all of a sudden has 8 points in this basketball game. Her and Brooklyn have a game-high 8 points. Tigers up by 13 here, 31-18. Those of you watching in saw the beautiful replay there from our terrific crew in-house, led by the great Michael January and his crew. Offensive rebound put back no good there by Hunter. Tigers come out of the pack. 4-on-2 developing. Rundawa can't handle the pass from Higgins. Valerie, I think, just didn't quite have the handle of the ball as she picked up the dribble in midair, and then Tigers misfired on a 4-on-2. So a tough break for Pacific to expand on the lead there. 4:09 remains, second quarter. We'll take a break with the Tigers up 31-18 along the PacificTigers.com.
At this moment, in Stockton, Sacramento, and San Francisco, a University of the Pacific student has made a decision to learn, live, and lead with purpose in mind. Here, it's all about moments that change lives, families, communities, economies, the world. At University of the Pacific, these moments give life purpose. They give us purpose too. After all, we share one future. Join us, University of the Pacific.
What is our way? Our way is unrelenting. Imposing as the mountaintops to our east, strong as the ocean to our west. Our way is forward, challenged by past achievement, expecting future success. Our way is committed, devoted, passionate. Our way fuels us to be different, to be inspired, to have faith in each other. What is our way? Our way is West.
All right, Don Gubbins back live. Here's a perimeter three ball. No good by Indiana State. Brooklyn McDavid tracks the rebound down right in front of the Tigers bench. Good hustle by Brooklyn. Up comes Sophie Trickinson with a left-hand dribble. Tigers up by 13 with 3:45 remaining, second quarter. McDavid out there with Blakeslee, Higgins, Rondala, and Trickinson. Here's McDavid with a pull-up 12-footer. Good! Brooklyn McDavid this time working on the right baseline. Squared up. Off the dribble, the one-on-one move by McDavid. She's in double figures with 10 points. The leading scorer in the West Coast Conference, Brooklyn McDavid, with 10 points now in the ballgame. McDavid ties up a driving Sycamore. That was CeCe Mayo. That's just great defense by Valerie Higgins and the Tigers as Mayo drove left baseline, but Higgins reached in and tied her up. Jump ball in the alternate possession. The Tigers have it. That goes as a turnover on Indiana State. Here's a beautiful entry pass to Higgins. She's going to score the bucket. The foul is called. It's an and one for Pacific. And a beautiful feed from Rondala up top. She found Higgins slashing from the top of the key down to the center of the lane. And Valerie, as she put up the shot, was fouled. So an and one opportunity for Valerie Higgins. Pearl Dean, well, check that. CeCe Mayo picked up the personal. I believe that's her third. She'll check out. Higgins cannot convert on the free throw, so missed opportunity there by the Tigers. They do not get the three-point play the old-fashioned way, so Indiana State with the basketball. They trail it by 17 all of a sudden. Westerfeld inside is going to draw a foul on McDavid as she got a nice pass and was going up strong with that big body of hers. Westerfeld, 6'3" freshman. She's out of Batesville, Indiana, playing about 17 minutes a game for Coach Hall. She's only scoring 3 points a contest, but she's grabbing 4.5 rebounds per game. Business major. Westerfeld, as a freshman, like so many of these Sycamores, getting significant minutes here in Division I college basketball. The first free throw, no good. Only 45% so far on the year for Westerfeld at the free throw line. She gets the second. So 1 out of 2 for Westerfeld and the Sycamores. It's 35-19. Tigers up by 16 here. Newman into the left elbow area. Higgins from behind has the ball poked away, and then Rondala steals it back near midcourt. So both teams turn it over real quick, back to back. Here's Whitehead firing it in from straight on, 18 feet away for Savannah. So the three-point shot makes it 37-19. Tigers up by 18 as Higgins tying her shoe is late getting back. Here's a high arcing three in the left corner, no good. Beautiful weak side rebound by Kaylin Rondala. She brings the right-hand dribble up into the forecourt. Gets a return pass from the wing. Is hammered. And the ball is blocked by Westerfeld. But, boy, a lot of contact on the arm there, it looked like, from our angle here. It'll be baseline out of bounds for Pacific. 21 seconds on the shot clock. 2:11 on the game clock. Caitlin Anderson will check in for Pitzer. Rondala triggers it in to Higgins. Over to Newman. Now on top to Rondala, and reaching in there is Williams. And easy foul call by Infinity Robinson. 2:07 remaining here in the quarter. Tigers are going to inbound it along the far sideline. They run a stack motion here. Ball comes in without any pressure to Rondala. She calls for somebody to come up and give her a pick. Instead now she goes cross court to Higgins. Now into the left wing to Newman. Whitehead has it in the low post off the entry pass. Almost loses it. Kicks it out on top. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Higgins goes to the rack. fires it off the glass, no good. Tough and low percentage shot there. And Randhawa almost intercepts a little bounce pass in transition. It goes off of Kaylin out of bounds. Deljanae Williams in transition. Free throw line extended. Tried to hit a teammate with a bounce pass. Did not see Randhawa hustling back, who got in the passing lane at the last second and knocked it out of bounds. So the Sycamores will inbound it along the baseline. Comes in. 15-footer no good there by Mayo. But check that by Jasmine Elder. Elder wears 24. Mayo wears 34. They have similar body types. Blakesley picks up the personal foul from behind. Randhawa gets away with a foul call, and then Whitehead draws the whistle on a fadeaway jump shot by McChristine. The shot is a little bit short, but 2 free throws now for Jamira McChristine. Criminal justice major. She hails from Chicago. She's averaging 6.5 points a game, is McChristine. One of 6 junior college transfers for the Indiana State Ball Club. Both free throws good. The second one a line drive. Whitehead will check out. Savannah very active here tonight on both ends of the floor. Tigers are going to get the first look at Josephine Miard tonight, a sophomore from France. Straight on 3 by Randhawa, no good, and whistle. Bradley Davis up in front of us. Tigers are going to get a over the back foul call, and that's going to put them in the penalty here with 1:21 to go. The 5th team foul on Pacific. I think that was on Miard. So 2 free throws as a result for Indiana State. Elder, 56% this year at the stripe. She gets the first free throw. She'll get a second one as well. That one goes. 10 points in the ball game for Elder. She leads all scores for Indiana State. Tigers have Higgins with 10 and McDavid with 10. Newman avoids the defender, makes a beautiful pass up top to Kaylin Randhawa, and then feeds a bounce pass to Miard, who banks it in. That's great ball movement there. 2 quick passes and a beautiful cut from Miard, who was wide open on the weak side, and a beautiful assist there by Randhawa. Inside of a minute to go. 39-23 Pacific. Higgins goes up to block the shot and got a little bit of the arm and drew the foul call. So for Valerie, that'll be her first personal in the ball game. Back to the free throw line goes Jasmine Elder. Elder's got the first free throw. She'll get another one here. That one rattles in. Tough call on Higgins. That looked like it was all ball from my angle, and associate head coach Amy Starr gave the referee an earful on that one. Got a pushing foul on Indiana State as Kaylin Randhawa tried to take the inbound pass and went sprawling onto the court with the pressure and the foul. That's a 3rd team foul on Indiana State. Caitlin Anderson there on the personal. Randhawa takes the inbound pass. Full court pressure by Indiana State. Tigers look to break it, get the ball near midcourt to Higgins. Now she'll dribble the ball over the timeline, go all the way to the rack, change directions, and then draws the foul as she misses the shot with the right hand, but got bodied up there. So Higgins, the Tigers junior, will get to the free throw line for a pair. 39-25, Pacific up by 14. Higgins will look to improve on that. Valerie with 10 points tonight for Pacific. First free throw is a little bit too strong. Higgins only at 50% this year from the line. Last year, Valerie shot a terrific 79% from the charity stripe. She gets the second. Higgins has 11 points. Tigers back up by 15 at 40-25. Into the half-court offense go the Sycamores. Tigers maintain a man-to-man pressure. Out on the right wing, it's Caitlin Anderson. Now right corner to Westerfield. And down low, Miard's called for a body foul from behind by Infinity Robinson as the referee's not letting them play much here now all of a sudden. There'll be a couple of more free throws. McChristine will get a couple of here. A couple of free throws. First of which settles in. McChristine now with 6 points in the ball game. Second free throw well short off the front iron. Miard with a rebound. And with 15 seconds left, the Tigers will play for the last shot of the second quarter. Play set being called out. Blakesley has it on the right wing. Back pick from Miard by Rundawa. Goes to the rack. The shot is blocked. Coming out of the pack of the Sycamores have 1 second. They hoist it up. It's Williams who stole the ball and dribbled three-quarter court and then fired from about 30 feet away, and it's a little bit short. And that ends the second quarter and the first half of play. The Tigers with a 14-point lead at intermission. It's 40-26 Pacific. We'll be back with the first half numbers for you along the Pacific Tigers digital network.
We, the student athletes, coaches, administrators, and fans of the West Coast Conference,
respectfully represent the values of all West Coast Conference institutions.
We elevate and celebrate performance through sport rather than negative behavior.
Physical and verbal attacks, obscene gestures, taunting,
and displays of profane language are not tolerated.
We are committed to positive sportsmanship that represents our conference, our school,
our team, and ourselves.
At this moment, in Stockton, Sacramento, and San Francisco, a University of the Pacific student has made a decision to learn, live, and lead with purpose in mind. Here, it's all about moments that change lives, families, communities, economies, the world. At University of the Pacific, these moments give life purpose. They give us purpose too. After all, we share one future. Join us, University of the Pacific.
Had 6 field goals, 6 out of 25 in that first half. So Indiana State's field goal percent for the half. I'm going to double check these numbers for you real quick. Yeah, 24% in that first half, 6 of 25. The Tigers were 17 of 37. That's 45%. So much better shooting for Pacific. In fact, the Tigers got 12 more shot attempts off than Indiana State. Sycamores were 1 of 10 from beyond the arc. They got to the free throw line 16 times. That's what kept them in the ballgame. They were 13 of 16 from the free throw line. And that's a terrific 81%. The Tigers, meanwhile, were 3 of 14 from beyond the arc and 3 of 7 from the free throw line. Again, I don't have my glasses tonight, so I am struggling with some of these numbers. Bear with me here. Individually for Indiana State, 10 points for Jasmine Elder. Elder was 2 of 6, so she had 2 of the 6 field goals. And for Indiana State in that first half, missed both of her 3-point shot attempts, but was 6 of 6 at the line. She had 3 rebounds as well to lead the way for the Sycamores. After 10 by Elder, it was 5 points for Adrian Folks. Folks was 2 of 2 from the field, 1 of 2 at the line for her 5. Jamira McChristine had 5 points in the first half as well. 1 of 3 from the field and 3 of 4 at the line. McChristine had a couple of boards to go with those 5 points. And then the only other 2 Sycamores, well, there were 3 other Sycamores who scored. Deljanae Williams had 3 points to go with 3 rebounds. Leandre Etchie had 2 points, and Westerfeld had 1 point on 1 of 2 at the line. For the Tigers, I mentioned 17 of 37 from the floor, and 3 of 14 from beyond the arc. Tigers only at 21% from Two points for Isabel Newman. Izzy was 1 of 2 officially from the floor shooting-wise. And Tillman had 2 points for the Tigers in that first half, on officially 1 of 4 from the field for Tilly. Josephine Miard had a couple of points. She made her only field goal attempt. And then that rounds out the Tigers scoring. So Higgins with 11, McDavid with 10, Triggerson with 6 leading the way. The rebounding numbers favor the Tigers 20-16. So Pacific with a +4 on the boards in that first half. The Tigers had 5 offensive rebounds in the first 20 minutes. They were able to convert those into 6 second chance points. And for Indiana State, they had only a couple of offensive boards, and that led, they converted both of those offensive boards into second chance points. They have 4 second chance points here in through the first half. The turnover numbers, Indiana State had 8 turnovers, and that led to 8 Tiger points. Meanwhile, Pacific turned it over 4 times, which led to only 2 points for Indiana State. So not a lot of turnovers considering here in that first half, but the Sycamores do have 8 turnovers here at halftime. Points in the paint favoring the Tigers 22-10. Pacific has 22 points in the paint of their 40. Fast break points favor Indiana State. They have 6 fast break points against the Tigers, who do not have a fast break point in this ball game to this point. And then the bench scoring favors Indiana State. 15 points off the bench of their 26. They do rotate normally all 14 of their players, and or at least 11 of them, I should say, and all 11 of the 14 have seen action here in the first half. I think everybody who's dressed has played in this first half for Indiana State and Coach Vicki Hall. Tigers led 18-8 after one. They outscored Indiana State 22-18 in that second quarter and have a 40-26 lead here at intermission. Tigers have 3 steals. Indiana State has 1 steal credited to them. The Tigers assisted on 9 of their 17 field goals, and Indiana State assisted 2 of their 6 field goals. The Sycamores have credited with 2 block shots. The Tigers credited with 3 block shots in this one. So that's a quick look at the numbers. It's halftime, it's 40-26. In the preliminary game before this one tonight, Cal State Northridge Matadors fell to defeat to the SMU Mustangs. And I did not write the score down, but SMU pulled away with the last couple of minutes. It was a 6-point ball game with about 2 minutes to go, and they ended up winning by 12. So congratulations to SMU with their victory. Should the Tigers go on to hold on to this one, the Tigers would play SMU in the championship game here tomorrow on the home court. And that game would tip at 3:30 Pacific time. Cal State Northridge will take on the loser of this game, and if things hold true, that would be Indiana State. That game would take place at 1:30 p.m. I do believe. Let me double check that. That would be 1 p.m. So the early game tomorrow will be a 1 o'clock start. And we'll see what happens here in the second half. After this tournament, the Tigers Don Govins back here at the Spano Center. The second half will be getting underway in just a little over a minute or so. I mentioned Indiana State in town after dropping a game Tuesday night in Boulder to the University of Colorado. This young Sycamore squad out of the Missouri Valley Conference last year went 11-19 on the year and were 5-13 in conference play. And then turned over all of their players this year. All 14 players on the roster this year are in their first year with the Indiana State program under second-year coach Vicki Hall. Coach Hall, longtime basketball aficionado, is a former player. Played on the U.S. national team back in the late 90s when won a national championship with the U.S. won a world championship with the U.S. national team, I should say. Has made several stops before making her way to Indiana State. Most recent to this stop was at Toledo, where she was a coach for several years there. Tigers hit the court. They're waiting for Indiana State to come out. In fact, Coach Hall was 6 years at Toledo and Miami of Ohio before then, and the University of New Mexico before then. Indiana State will have the ball first. They'll head back home after this tournament and take on Marshall back on their home court at the Holman Center on December 3rd. Going to be a violation on Indiana State, so the Tigers will get the basketball right back here. 5 seconds into it. The Sycamores turn it over, so Pacific basketball. Tigers have the starting lineup back out there. Blakely Triggetson is now out there. McDavid is pushed off the block by Westerfeld, and that was an obvious call as Brooklyn got pushed as she went to make a shot along the right baseline. Westerfeld picks up personal number 1. So Brooklyn at the line. Holmley knocks the first one down, the 75%er this year at the free throw line. Brooklyn with 11 points now in the ball game. Make it 12 as she hits both free throws. The hard-working Brooklyn McDavid. Tigers going to throw some full court pressure. Now they back it off as Pitzer makes her way up the court. Pitzer's out there with Etchie, Westerfeld, McChristine, and Williams, who launches for 3. No good. Weak side rebound to Kaylin Randawa. The Tigers long pass up the court to Higgins. Tracks it down. Now gets a return pass from Triggetson. Looks baseline. Drive, spin move off the glass. No good, but a body foul on McChristine, I believe it is. She'll pick up her second personal foul with that one. Second team foul of the quarter. And Higgins back at the free throw line here for 2 free throws. First of which is good. Both free throws good by Higgins, so Tigers tie their largest lead of the day or the afternoon at 18 now. 44-26, 3-on-2 developing. Now Tigers hustle back. Pitzer drives long left baseline, kick out pass on the right wing. Now over to Westerfield up top. 15-footer, no good. Inside, an offensive rebound there by McChristine, and we got a whistle. What do we got? Jump ball called as one of the Tigers reached in and tied it up. Indiana State with possession, so 18 seconds on the shot clock will remain. They come up top for a Williams 3-point shot that misses badly wide left. And Randawa's whistled for a push-off foul going for the defensive board. Working there against Etchie. And Kaylin picks up the personal. Second personal on Kaylin Randawa. First team foul of the second half, third quarter on the Tigers. McWilliams dribble penetration with a tough left-hand shot is good. Beautiful shot there by Deljanae Williams. She drove into the lane and in against pressure, put up a soft floater and got it to go. Brooklyn McDavid's hipped, bump there in the hip, and a foul call as she works in the paint. No shot attempt there. The Tigers will inbound it along the baseline. Brooklyn was trying to get a handle of the ball, and the Sycamore player was Westerfield really bodying her up inside there. Trickinson fires from 17 feet off the left angle. No good. Over and off. Rebound by the Sycamores. Up they come. Pitzer now backs off the dribble, directs traffic. Tigers in the man-to-man pressure in the half court. Motion offense by Indiana State. Has the ball to Elder up top. She goes down low to Pitzer, and from behind, Randawa hammers her and picks up the personal foul. Kalen now has 3 personals, and that'll get Leanna Tillman in for the Tigers. Randawa was not in good defensive position there off the backside due to the offensive rebound, and went to block the shot, but got a lot of arm and drew the foul call. So a couple of free throws for Pitzer, first of which is good. She has her first points of the ball game. Second free throw a little strong, no good. McDavid's tied up as she went high to the rebound, high in the air to get that rebound. One of the Sycamores reached in to tie her up. Jump ball call. The Tigers have the possession arrow, so they'll inbound it. A minute 45 into the third quarter. 15-point Tiger lead at the moment. Trigginson's bodied up along the sideline, and a late foul call as the ball's poked toward half court there. It's going to be over the back call there on Deljené Williams. Second personal on Williams. Tigers bring it in. Man-to-man pressure by Indiana State. The Sycamores wearing the road blues. Sycamore logo along the front side of the jersey. Higgins kick out pass for a Blakesley 3 attempt. It's back heel, no good. Brooklyn McDavid had her hand on the offensive rebound attempt, but it deflects over to Indiana State. They go long cross-court pass. Shot missed inside with a left hand by Etchie, and the Tigers come out of the pack with the ball. Blakesley has Triggetson on the right side. Quick release. Fires it in from 3. Sophie Triggetson right in front of us has her 3. The third triple of the afternoon for the Denmark native. Part of the Danish national team herself. And Sophie's got 9 points in the ball game. Tigers back to an 18-point advantage. They have not been able to build it more than 18. Now a poke away by Higgins. Steal for the Tigers as the ball gets over to Trickinson. Right corner to Blakesley. Long 3. Got it! Jessica Blakesley finds the bottom of the net. She hits a triple there off a beautiful pass. JB was wide open in the corner in front of the Tigers bench, and she drains it right through the bottom of the net. Splash it goes, and the Tigers do in fact now have their largest lead of the ball game. It's 50-29 Pacific in the Tiger Turkey tip-off from the Spanos Center with 6:57 left in the third quarter. The Tigers with a beautiful run to open up the second quarter, and Blakesley drains the long-distance shot for her first points of the ball game. 50-29. We'll take the short break and be back along the Pacific Tigers Digital Network. All right, Tigers up by 21. I talked about Blakesley hitting the bottom of the net after she's misfired a few times in this ball game, the engineering major, and talked to Jessica at length over the years, being that this is my 4th year with her, and talking with basketball with her occasionally. Big fan, like myself, of the great late Pistol Pete Maravich. And she looked just like Pistol on that 3-point shot attempt that she just drained a moment ago. In transition, the Tigers, after a missed 3 by Indiana State, tried to find a long outlet pass that goes out of bounds off of Indiana State there. Brooklyn McDavid had broke out of the pack on that shot attempt from the 3-point line by Indiana State, and then the Tigers got the rebound, and the long outlet pass was deflected. So the Tigers have it, looking to build on that 21-point lead. Beautiful weak side pass by Tillman in midair. McDavid simultaneously tried to get the pass and put up a shot attempt, but it goes awry there. The Sycamores with the rebound. Beautiful look there from Tillman up on that pass attempt to McDavid. Brooklyn would have been more wise to come down with the ball and get herself set. A little off balance trying to secure that pass. So with 6:05 to go in the third quarter, Indiana State with the basketball. Long distance 3-ball drain there in the left corner. Nice shot by Leandra Etchie, the junior out of Beacon, New York. She only shoots 17% on the year from downtown, but she drains that one. Tillman misses an easy one. Higgins missed an even easier offensive rebound. Tigers missed 2 easy ones there on that attempt, and then in transition, a travel call on Indiana State before the Sycamore player went over to bowl Liana Tillman over. Out of control there was CeCe Mayo. Lucky she called the travel, because that would have been her 4th personal had it been a charging foul. Tigers get a Higgins 3-point shot attempt, no good, a little bit short. And the Sycamores have the defensive board, have a 3-on-3 developing. Goes into the left corner to Mayo. Now her outlet pass up top is intercepted by Higgins. 1-on-1. Valerie now has McDavid joining her, misses the layup, and the Sycamores come out of the pack. The Tigers had 3 players down and miss an easy one there, as Higgins not only misses the shot, the Tigers had 2 other players could not secure the offensive board, and the Tigers give up an easy layup on the other end. Tillman's tied up. Now a reach-in foul call on Pitzer. She's not in quite a agreement there, but nonetheless, Pitzer picks up her 2nd personal. Tigers are going to get several changes. Well, we're going to get a 30-second timeout first, so we'll keep it here, get you caught up on some of the numbers. 50-34, the Tigers up by 16 points at the moment with have outscored Indiana State 10-5 so far here in the third quarter and lead 50-34. I should say they've outscored Indiana State 10-8 at this point. Tillman will be at the free throw line, misses the first free throw. Liana will get a second attempt. The Lincoln High School product here in Stockton misses both free throws. The second one missed badly. And Indiana State goes back on the offense. Tigers man-to-man pressure, have Blakesley out there with Newman, Higgins, Whitehead, and Tillman. Indiana State circle into the key, put it up off the glass and score. It's an and one. Didn't see much contact there, but the whistle did blow. It's an and one opportunity. JB is going to pick up the personal foul for Jessica. That is personal number 2 in the ball game. Tillman comes out, and Rondawa checks in for the Tigers. Leandra Etchie is the one who made a beautiful move inside to score and also has the free throw attempt that's up and good. Etchie completes the three-point play. She's at 8 points, near her average of 9. Higgins now goes down the left side of the lane and puts up a shot that's no good, but draws the whistle. And Valerie's going to get a couple of free throws here. Not a real good flow to the game due to the number of foul calls in this one. Higgins has the first free throw. Valerie with 14 points now in the ball game. Second free throw also good, so Higgins makes both. She's made 4 in a row at the charity stripe. 37-52. It's a back to a 15-point lead for the Tigers. Now the Higgins 2 free throws. Pitzer goes to the lane, puts up a shot off the left angle, no good, but on the follow through, looked like Whitehead bumped into her. It is Savannah picking up the personal foul. Savannah needed to go straight up there, and Pitzer, who was leaning in with that jump shot off the left side angle, off the dribble penetration, drew the contact as Whitehead was out of position, and so the easy foul call and 2 free throws for Pitzer. She's got the first. A little bit of a thing. How tall? 5'5" she's listed. Both free throws good, so it's 52-39, down to a 13-point lead. Tigers need a bucket. They get a beautiful pass from Whitehead to Higgins, who scores inside. Great ball movement there. The Tigers a little more patient on that, ran the play set perfectly, and Savannah found Higgins along the baseline with a beautiful one bounce pass there. Great assist by Whitehead. Higgins converts. She's got 17 to lead the Tigers now. And Indiana State gets away with a travel, and then a flip shot is good by Jamira McChristine, who looked like she traveled before she went on to convert that bucket inside. McChristine, a good power move there. Makes it 54-41. Tigers lead at 13, and on the pass we have a foul call on Indiana State. Jamira McChristine will pick up the personal foul. Christine off that last bucket. She's got 7 points in the ball game now. Marie Hunter checks back in for Indiana State. Hunter, 5'7" junior. Whitehead first free throw is good. Savannah tonight now has 5 points in the contest. The redshirt sophomore out of Utah. Springville, Utah to be exact. Savannah had a busy year. Was on her Mormon mission last year. That's why she redshirted here, and then got married as well earlier this year. So both free throws good. 56-41. Savannah now with 6 points in the game. Tigers back up by 15. Sycamores have the ball up top. Tigers still man-to-man pressure. Out on the perimeter. Hunter's going to fire from the right side angle and get the 3 ball. Beautiful shot by Marie Hunter. 33% from downtown on the year. Drains that one. Whitehead puts up a 15-foot baseline shot. Got it! Kaiser with the assist. Callie Kaiser's back in for the Tigers. Made a nice chest pass to Whitehead, who scored it. Now in transition, a 3-ball off the glass by Indiana State. So just like that, it's an 11-point Tiger lead. 58-47, 2.5 to go, third quarter. Bradley Davis up, calling out a play here as Savannah Whitehead goes over to Newman. Dribble penetrate, left hand off the glass, no good. A little bit too strong. Sycamores with the rebound, up they come. Jasmine Elder now in transition, a long three is good. Bradley Davis wants the timeout as Marie Hunter hit the third consecutive 3-point shot in transition that time, and the Sycamore bench comes alive. And with 2:05 to go here in the third quarter, we've got a ball game. Pacific's lead down to 8 points. It's a 30-second timeout as Indiana State on a big-time run here in the third quarter, very late, have hit 3 consecutive triples on 3 straight possessions here. And just like that, the Sycamores are 5 of 16 in the ball game. Both teams have made 5 3-point shots in the ball game. Tigers are 5 of 18 officially. Off the timeout, Trigginson out there with Randalla, McDavid, Blakesley, and Higgins. Bradley Davis not wasting any time. He gets the starters back out there. Randalla goes hard to the rack. No good. Tough break for the Tigers. She had a good look at it there under pressure. A little flip shot from about 7 feet away. Just would not drop. Dribble penetration off the baseline. No good. Dribble penetration by Indiana State. Trigginson went down with some contact. What do we got here? The ball goes out of bounds. It's off of the Tigers apparently. 21 seconds on the shot clock. Indiana State will inbound. It's contested there by Trigginson, and now we got a body foul. Trigginson was just standing there, and Infinity Robinson says that Trigginson bodied the Sycamore player out of bounds as she fell out of bounds. She was trapped in the corner off the inbound pass, and Trigginson had her hand straight up in the air. But apparently the lower body is what forced the contact and pushed her out of bounds and called the what prompted the foul call. First free throw, no good. Indiana State has a chance to cut it to 7 here with an Etchie free throw. She got 1 out of 2, got the second one, but missed the first one. Etchie has 9 points in the ball game for Indiana State. 58-51. Blakesley up top, looking for Randalla, posting up at the free throw line. Doesn't find her, instead gets it to Higgins. Circles through the key, kick out pass for Randalla. Fires from 3, no good. Ball tracked down in the corner by Marie Hunter. Up comes Indiana State. 3-on-3 in transition. Hunter, 14-footer, good! Just inside the free throw line, the southpaw pulled up and drained the jumper. It's 58-53 with a minute to go here in the third quarter. Bradley Davis up right in front of us. Calling out play number 2. Randalla at the top of the circle has the ball deflected and stolen by Indiana State. Kick out pass to Hunter. She looks for 3, fires from 3. Air ball. McDavid with a rebound. Higgins hustles up the court with the left hand, draws the contact and the foul call on Indiana State. And it'll be 2 more free throws for Valerie Higgins. Both teams huffing and puffing with their hands on their hips here off of the holiday yesterday. Back in action are both of these clubs today on Black Friday. Hope you're enjoying the Thanksgiving holiday weekend with your family, wherever you may be listening in. Higgins knocks the first free throw down. Valerie will get a second free throw as well. The junior from Granada Hills with a deep knee bend. Second free throw rims out, no good. Rebound to Folks of Indiana State. Hands the ball off to Williams, who brings the ball across the timeline. Hunter on the right wing at the three-point line. Throws it up top to Pearl Dean. She hands it off there to Leandra Etchie. Back down into the low post for Dean, but a bad pass. It goes off of Dean's hands, out of bounds. Etchie fired that ball from the left elbow area into the low post. Not a good angle, but she just threw the ball too hard. Dean couldn't handle it. Turnover on Indiana State. Randhawa pulls up, is fouled as she attempts a jump shot off the left side from behind. One of the Sycamores got her, so it's going to be a couple of free throws for Kaylin Randhawa. 67% on the year from the free throw line for Randhawa. Her first free throw was up and good. Second free throw, no good. Tigers missing some opportunities here, and it's getting a little bit late in this ball game. So 1 of 2 for Randhawa there. Off of the missed free throw, we got a jump ball call. It's Indiana State possession. They'll bring it in. Randhawa with a steal, turnaround jumper as time expires is short, out of bounds. Great heads-up play by Kaylin Randhawa and the Tigers. They threw full court pressure off the inbound pass in the back court. Got the steal with less than 2 seconds left. Randhawa realizing time was about to expire as she got the steal. She turned and faded away in that left corner, fired it up. It didn't draw iron as the horn sounds. And we've played 3 full quarters here from the Spanos Center. We're in Stockton, California on the campus at the University of the Pacific. The Tigers lead it 60-53. We'll be back with a fourth quarter for you and the Tiger Turkey tip-off in just a moment.
What is our way? Our way is unrelenting. Imposing as the mountaintops to our east, strong as the ocean to our west. Our way is forward, challenged by past achievement, expecting future success. Our way is committed, devoted, passionate. Our way fuels us to be different, to be inspired, to have faith in each other. What is our way? Our way is West.
At this moment, in Stockton, Sacramento, and San Francisco, a University of the Pacific student has made a decision to learn, live, and lead with purpose in mind. Here, it's all about moments. Moments that change lives, families, communities, economies, the world. At University of the Pacific, these moments give life purpose.
Both teams will come out for the fourth quarter. Indiana State outscores Pacific 27-20 in that third quarter. So Indiana State scores 27 points. They only had 26 points at halftime, so they scored 1 more point in the third quarter than they had in the first 2 quarters combined. Tigers will inbound it to open up the fourth quarter. Ball poked out of bounds, so the Tigers still retain possession. Comes into McDavid, works there in the low post, misses a shot as she turned back to her left side and missed about an 8-footer short. Indiana State with the rebound as the Tigers have Trickettson out there with Randhawa, McDavid, Higgins, and Blakesley. Jump shot at the right elbow is good. Adrian Folks, who got away with a travel as she then went on to hit about a 17-footer there on the right angle. Delay of game warning on Indiana State as the ball went through the net. It was poked away. It's a 5-point lead for the Tigers from behind. A very aggressive Indiana State team. Fouls yet again from behind. That one's on Marie Hunter. That'll be her first personal in the ball game. Higgins will bring it in directly across the way on the sideline. She terminates the dribble and is cut off, and too much body attempt there, and a foul call on Pitzer. Summer Pitzer, the 5'5" guard, draws the whistle. The Columbus, Ohio native picks up her first personal there. So the Tigers will inbound it again. Here's Higgins getting a pick from McDavid. Kick out pass for a Blakesley 3 attempt. Got it! off the left side. Jessica was about 10 feet up from the baseline there. Got a beautiful pass from Higgins off the dribble penetration. The assist Higgins. The 3 ball for Blakesley is her second of the ball game. That gives the Tigers an 8-point lead. Spinning into the lane. Flip shot with the left hand. No good. Off the glass. Ball goes out of bounds. You know, they're going to get a foul call on Indiana State first. It's going to go on the center there. Pearl Dean, who was working to secure that offensive board, the 6'3 center, is called for her foul. It's her second personal. So the Tigers with an 8-point lead, 8:45 to go in the ball game. Looking to advance to take on SMU tomorrow. Blakesley again, this time from the right side, misses a little bit short off that 3 attempt. And in transition, Marie Hunter goes in for a shot. Higgins blocked the shot. What do we got here? Still not sure what they called. Higgins got a clean block. Was she out of bounds when she may have been on the baseline when she got the ball after blocking the shot. That must be what they called. Boy, every little touch is drawing a whistle here. Now Randhawa picks up yet another foul. This is her 4th. You just can't defend in this game without drawing a whistle, it seems like. The fouls are starting to mount up for both squads. Randhawa will take a seat here. Tillman comes in for the Tigers. So Kalen with 4 personal fouls. Here's a circle shot off a high pick at the right elbow area. No good. Air ball. Tigers in transition. Have Triggensen on the right wing. She works there. Comes on top to Tillman. Left wing feed to Blakesley. Looking for McDavid at the high post. Pull up 16-footer. No good. Short. Blakesley with an offensive rebound. Tigers will get another look at it. Triggensen gets it up top from Higgins. Fires from 3. Too strong. No good. Ball loose on the floor. It's pulled down by Summer Pitzer. She comes out of the pack. Going coast to coast. Gets bumped by Blakesley. No call there. Misses the shot. Triggensen with a rebound. In transition, the Tigers have it. McDavid fires it out to Triggensen. She goes for a 3-point shot. No good. Offensive board by Higgins. Another 3. Good by Tillman. Liana Tillman off an offensive rebound. Higgins with the assist. The Tigers at a big 3 there. Higgins made a great kick-out pass on the right wing. Tillman wide open. She went straight up with it and scored. And Liana Tillman with a big bucket there with 7:34 remaining in the ball game. That puts the Tigers back up by 10. 65-55. As we get the timeout, we'll keep it here and get you caught up on some of the individual numbers while we can. Tillman now has 5 points in the ball game after draining that 3 ball. Higgins leads all scorers with 18 points tonight. Brooklyn McDavid has a dozen. Savannah Whitehead has 8 points. Sophie Triggensen has 9. For Indiana State, they're led in scoring by Jasmine Elder, who has 13 points in the ballgame. She's in double figures. Leandra Etchie has 9. McChristine with 7. And Marie Hunter has 8. Indiana State now out rebounding the Tigers, 31-28 in this basketball game. Now we're going to get even more recent numbers. 34-32, Indiana State a +2 on the boards. Tigers have come out here in the 4th quarter and outscored Indiana State 5-2 to this point. Tigers had a 21-point advantage early in that 3rd quarter. Saw it shrink down to 8. Tigers throw some pressure on off the timeout, but Indiana State breaks it. So the Tigers fall back into man-to-man pressure. Leandra Etchie with a right-hand dribble up top. Works there against Blakesley. Now right wing feed to Elder. Up into the left elbow area to Cece Mayo. She hands it off to Marie Hunter. Trap there. They go into the low post to Westerfeld, who at the shot clock buzzer fires it short off the rim. Loose ball, rebound by Indiana State. Blakesley got conked in the nose and is breathing deeply and trying to get her vision back as she works on defensively off the weak side. Now they go into the low post, ball knocked loose. Tigers come out of the pack. Turnover Indiana State. Trickinson with the left-hand dribble has McDavid wide open underneath. Scores! Westerfield made a last-ditch effort to come flying at McDavid, but Brooklyn gave her a lift fake. Westerfield went flying by her, and McDavid banks it in at point-blank range. Brooklyn's got 14 in the ball game. 6:20 to go. Tigers now up by a dozen. They seem to have answered the bell as Indiana State had cut it, I think, to even 6 points there. Long three, high arc out on the perimeter. Back iron, no good. That was Elder who launched that one. Tigers in transition. Tillman 1-on-2. Draws the foul as she misses the shot. Tillman working aggressively despite not having numbers. Lowered the shoulder, went hard to the rack and got hammered. And she'll get 2 free throws for her efforts. Leanna Tillman with 4 points in the ball game. Will try and score a couple of more here at the free throw line. Tigers are 13 of 21 at the stripe tonight. Only 62%. Tillman makes the first free throw. Leanna this year 50% at the line. She's got both free throws here, 2 big ones. Tillman last year shot 76% at the line. So she gets both. Tillman's got 6 points. Tigers, more importantly, back up by 14. That's an offensive foul. Trigginson with beautiful defense as Pearl Dean setting a big pick out there on the right elbow area. Threw her elbow out and caught Trigginson on the back side. Sophie went down with the contact. It's an offensive foul. Third personal on Pearl Dean. Here's McDavid, turnaround 14-footer, good on the right baseline. Brooklyn's got 16 points now as she's heating back up. 5.5 to go. Tigers back up by 16 now. They seem to have answered the bell and now opened it back up. Shot no good. Long rebound though out to Indiana State. Higgins with great defense blocks the shot out of bounds as Cece Mayo working hard inside for the Sycamores. Grabbed that errant 3-point shot attempt and went back up with the offensive board, but Higgins knocked it out of bounds. Now ball comes in and knocked out of bounds again by the Tigers. So Indiana State with 17 seconds on the shot clock trying to bring the ball inbounds. They get it up top to Leandra Etchie. Free ball in the left corner, rims out, no good. Blakesley with a rebound, just standing there watching the action. The ball found her along the left baseline. Tigers with a big rebound. Here's Higgins dribble driving into McDavid. Turnaround 10-footer, score it! Count the bucket! She's fouled, it will count. And McDavid with a beautiful shot inside in traffic there. I think that's going to go on Pearl Dean. It's her, well, let's see, it's going to be, it is on Dean. Well, hold on. It's on McChristine, my apologies. McChristine wears 32. Dean wears 33. It's the 4th personal on McChristine. Free throw made by Brooklyn, so she's got 19 points in the ballgame. Tigers up by 19 again. It's 74-55. Wow, what a run late in that third quarter by Indiana State to cut it to a 7-point ballgame, 60-53. For the Tigers now have opened it back up by 19 here, 74-55. 4.5 to go. Ball comes into Brooklyn, working on the right block. Spin move, turnaround jumper, a little bit short off the front iron. Ball loose, Blakesley's got it, and then McDavid tries to save it, does so to Trigginson. Beautiful hustle by Brooklyn, McDavid, and the Tigers. Ball comes back to Brooklyn in the block. Kick out pass for a Newman, 3 attempt, no good. Blakesley being held. Jessica working hard on the offensive glass, and one of the role changes for her this year, is doing a lot of rebounding, especially on the offensive end. JB, who does so many things out on the court. A lot of them go unnoticed, but that time back-to-back offensive rebounds for Blakesley. So she'll get a couple of free throws for her efforts here. First of which is good. Jessica in the ball game now with 7 points. The Mercer Island native makes both free throws, and the Tigers up by 21 points again, 76-55, as Blakesley has 8 points in the ball game. Pitzer directs traffic, crossing the timeline. Now on the right side, Sycamores get a dribble penetration, flip-up shot no good, but again, the Tigers get whistled for a foul as Etchie made her way through the Tigers' defense. McDavid caught her late with a trip. It'll be 2 free throws for Leandra Etchie. McDavid's going to come out and get a breather. That'll probably be it for her tonight with 3:59 left, and the Tiger faithful behind us give her a nice round of applause. She'll get ready for the SMU Mustangs tomorrow afternoon, as it looks like the Tigers and Mustangs will play in the championship game of the Tigers Thanksgiving weekend tournament. Free throw miss, but an defensive foul on Izzy Newman. Newman didn't block out successfully there, and Indiana State had an opportunity to get the offensive rebound. Was it a shooting foul? It was not. So Indiana State will inbound it. 3:58 to go in the game. They have 20 seconds on the shot clock. Tigers have Newman out there with Triggetson. Ball was thrown off of Sophie out of bounds, so Indiana State player trapped in the deep corner in front of their bench. Had to throw it off of Triggetson. Now they'll bring it in. Blakesley and Tillman and Whitehead. The other Tigers out on the court at the moment. Pitzer kick out pass for a long distance high arcing three. That's good by Jasmine Elder. Boy, she has a high release. That ball was way up there. A rainbow three. And then Tillman has her pocket picked in the backcourt. Going on to score is Pitzer. She gets the steal and the bucket. Tillman now hustles back. Whitehead has a beautiful dump-off pass from Tillman. Misses the shot. Blakesley there to clean it up and put it back up and in. JB's got double figures, 10 points tonight. Boy, Tillman turned it over, and then on the next sequence got a beautiful pass that Tigers missed, but Blakesley cleans it up. Here's a three ball that's good by Pitzer. Off the left wing. Pitzer's got 11 points in the ballgame. It's 78-64. It's a 14-point lead as Tigers had some big leads that they've given up. Pick and roll. Tillman and Whitehead. Ball loose on the floor, and it's a jump ball. Tillman with not a real good entry pass off that pick and roll with Whitehead there, and Tillman will come out. Rendawa will come in. Newman checks out, and Higgins in for the Tigers. 2:47 remain. It's 14 points at the moment. Indiana State with the ball. They trail it by 14. They've never led in this basketball game. Tigers have full court pressure. Indiana State breaks it easily. They come into the front court. Working on the right wing against Triggetson is Leandra Etchie. Her pass comes up top, tracked down by Westerfield. Now to Williams. She jukes Blakesley out on the perimeter, goes to the rack, flip shot, no good. Blakesley with a rebound. JB with another rebound. Not sure, we'll see how many she's got. She's been all over the boards tonight. Triggetson with a pass to Blakesley, kick out to Higgins. Tigers deliberately taking some time off the clock on this possession. 2:10 to go in the ball game. Tigers look like they're going to play tomorrow at 3:30 against SMU in the championship game of the Tiger Turkey tip-off. Higgins goes down the left side of the lane. Shot blocked from behind. Ball loose out on the floor. Trigetson's got it. And the Tigers want to dribble some more time off here with 1:45 left in the game. The Tigers get a fresh shot clock. Higgins circles up top, looks to penetrate. Now into the key, cut off. Kick out pass to Whitehead. Now over to Triggetson up top. Savannah trying to post up. She can't get open. Sophie step back three. No good. Off the rim. And the rebound by Indiana State. Etchie comes out of the pack with the ball, circles up the top of the key, then gives it over to Pitzer. Long three off the right side of the iron, no good, but Westerfeld working hard inside, puts it back up and in. Long pass to Rendawa in transition. She reversed layup. Great move by Rendawa. She went down on her backside after making the shot. 80-66. A minute to go in the ball game. Wild action here at the Spanos Center, and now Pitzer gets a pick from Westerfield, pulls up from three, no good, too strong. Blakesley has the rebound. We got a push-off foul away from the ball on CC Mayo. Fourth foul on Mayo. Now the Tigers are going to get Sam Ashby in. Well, she's not going to let her in yet. There's going to be some free throws here. Higgins will come out. Madeline Ennis will come in, the 5'11 freshman out of Burlingame. Cassidy Johnson's going to come in for Savannah Whitehead. Cassidy Johnson, the 6'5 redshirt freshman who had shoulder surgery last year, sat out. Comes in from Lehigh, Utah. Driggitson makes the free throw. Sophie with 10 points in the ball game. Second free throw rims out, no good. And the Sycamores hustle it up the court. Down low in the painted area, ball loose on the floor. Driggitson ties it up with one of the Sycamores. Jump ball call. It's going to be Tiger basketball. Now Sam Ashby can check in. Driggitson will come out with 42.5 ticks left on the clock. So Ennis out there with Rendawa, Ashby, Blakesley, and Cassidy Johnson. Higgins had 18 points tonight. She'll check out. Ashby has it over to Ennis. Tigers pass it out on the perimeter to Blakesley. She's overplayed now, backs the dribble off. Tries to get the ball into Cassidy Johnson. The ball tipped loose, comes near mid-court. It's still loose. Ennis contains it for the Tigers. 18 seconds left. Tigers just need to, well, they got 2 seconds on the shot clock. Rendawa's going to go down all the way to the lane and score with a left hand. Rendawa, as the shot clock wound down, the Tiger bench helping her there, count that down, and it's 83-66. We got a whistle here, a double dribble on Caitlin Anderson of Indiana State, and that will pretty much do it as the Tigers will bring it in and just hold on to the ball in the backcourt. And the Tigers have gone to 4-1. Pacific with a victory tonight over the visiting Indiana State Sycamores, 83-66. And the Tigers improve to 4-1 now on the year. Indiana State falls to 2-4. And the Tigers will advance now to play the SMU Mustangs here tomorrow afternoon at the Spanos Center. It'll be a 3:30 tip for the Tigers. And they'll take on SMU, and Tigers had a chance to watch some of that ball game, and we'll talk to Coach Davis. He'll come over here, I think, courtside before the Tigers walk off the court here. And we are joined by Tigers head coach Bradley Davis. Coach, congratulations. Nice ball game tonight. The Tigers, back and forth affair, but led the whole way, start to finish. What is your initial impression on the Tigers' victory here tonight?
Overall good. We did some things a lot better in terms of conserving the ball, not turning it over in specific ways that we had been, and I was really proud of the team for that. They went on a couple runs, and to withstand that, I've watched their team a lot, and they do that. They're young, they're quick, they're aggressive, and they're capable of going on those runs. So we knew they had it in them, and they sure brought it out of us there in the third quarter.
Yeah, this game was, I don't know if the game was overly physical or if it was just called very tightly tonight, but what were your thoughts on the physicality of this ball game?
Yeah, it was a physical game, and it felt like it was called a little bit differently throughout the game. It started off, they were kind of letting them play, and then I felt like they had to kind of get control of it. We bore the brunt of that. They shot a lot of free throws there in the first half, which is what honestly, I thought kept them in it. They were getting to the free throw line, and it was killing kind of our momentum and our pace of play in that second quarter especially.
Yeah, Indiana State with 16 free throws in that first half. They converted 13 of them, to your point. But they only had 6 field goals in the first half. Were you happy with the half-court defense?
Yeah, we were. We always have to adjust. You know, I thought the foul calls kind of changed midway through that first half. With the same breath, we have to adjust how we're defending. If we're getting calls, then we've got to get our hands off and not kind of overrun plays and create contact.
Valerie Higgins tonight with a really good ball game on both ends of the floor. She really seemed to kickstart that offense. Had a really nice ball game, 18 points, I think, tonight. But just played hard on both sides. Got a lot of rebounds.
Yeah.
Talk about Valerie with her performance
You know,
tonight.
she does a little bit of everything for us. She really does. And where the team likes to pressure that much, she was kind of an easy pressure release. We could throw it back to her, and we can bring it up that way. So she did a lot for us, even when it wasn't scoring.
And Brooklyn McDavid had 19 to lead the way. She had a big fourth quarter there. But 19 and 18, that's a nice duo. And then you have Jessica Blakesley, who continues to do all the little things out on the court. A lot of them don't go noticed, but she ends up getting double figures herself tonight. So it's a nice trio of combination. That's going to help the offense moving forward to tomorrow.
It is. Jess does so much that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. And it was nice. I know she wanted to kind of get her shot going a little bit too. So when she made that first one there in the second half, I think the whole bench felt it.
Yeah, big ball game. Now you got a quick turnaround tomorrow, 3:30 against SMU, who were victorious over Cal State Northridge in the ball game that preceded yours tonight. You saw them play a little bit. What are your thoughts on SMU and the Tigers matchup tomorrow?
They've got great size, very physical, able to get on the boards, and they do a little bit of everything. They can play inside and out. They're good at attacking the basket. We're going to have to get to film and make sure we're ready for what's going to be a tough matchup.
All right, were you happy with the minutes? Were you planning on playing everybody the minutes you played tonight with a quick turnaround?
Yeah, we'd like to get a few out, some rest there at the end, but they're Indiana State's so capable of runs, and when they went on that run in the third, we knew we'd have to extend the minutes a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I'm just asked the last question was when they pulled within 6 or 7 late in that quarter. Third quarter, what was the thought coming out in that fourth quarter? You had a ball game there.
Just kind of resettle. We've done a good job of getting, we call it stop, score, stop, stringing together a couple good possessions on the offensive end and defensive end in order to take a 6-point lead or a 2-possession game to a 3 or a 4-possession game. And I thought there were key moments when we did that. And we'll go back and look at the film, and I think we'll be able to circle that as those are some key momentum plays for us.
Yeah, that was excellent execution to open up that fourth quarter. And just as you said, the Tigers expanded that lead. They got down to 6 or 7, and then all of a sudden it's a 14-point game again, and you took back control. Well, congratulations. The Tigers now at 4-1. Enjoy this one for a few minutes before you get ready for tomorrow against SMU, and we'll talk to you then.
We'll celebrate for about 10 minutes and then get ready here, right?
All right, Coach.
All right, thanks,
way to go.
Appreciate it.
All right, Bradley Davis joining us courtside, and we'll get I'm not sure if we're going to get the final numbers or not individually. We'll probably not. We'll get them to you tomorrow before the SMU ball game, but we can tell you that Blakesley ends up with 10, McDavid with 19, and Higgins with 18. We'll make Valerie Higgins our City of Stockton Human Resources hardworking player of the game tonight. Don't have her entire line as we didn't get the final stat sheet in front of us, so I don't know how many rebounds Higgins ended up with, but it's a terrific all-around ball game. Suffice it to say, the Tigers with a big win here tonight to go to 4-1. The Indiana State, as I mentioned, dropping it down to 2-4. It'll be Indiana State taking on Cal State Northridge at 1 o'clock here at the Spanos Center tomorrow in the consolation game. And then the Tigers will take on SMU at 3:30. We'll be on the air about 3:20 with a pregame show. For Michael January and all of his crew here at the Spanos Center, my name's Don Gubbins. Thank you for joining us tonight for Pacific Tiger Basketball. We'll talk to you tomorrow from the Spanos Center. Once again, the final score tonight, Pacific 83, Indiana State 66, along the PacificTigers.com. Good night, everybody.